All right, everybody, welcome into the space. Can I get a quick mic check from my guest here, Tomer?
1 2 1 2. Guest test 1 2.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. I think we're going to have a great time today with the spaces, guys. Since we got some of the technical issues resolved. If you were with us last week, we are back again to talk about this very exciting topic to do with Kima, and what better to do it with than Tomer, a fantastic part of Kima and great speaker on spaces as always. So happy to have you here. Let me just give a quick intro. We're going to talk about one of the most important milestones for real-world DeFi adoption. Kima Network's collaboration with the European Central Bank. Wow, this is huge news, guys. Super excited to talk about it today and learn all about it. Guys, it's not just a headline. It's the result of years of deep tech work, real-world integration, and showing up where it counts. And of course, their presence at Token 2049 and other events this year. And of course, as I said, great to have Tomer here to unpack Kima's mission, what this ECB partnership actually means, how programmable finance is evolving, and how builders and institutions can win together. Okay, let's get into it. So, Tomer, I know you've done this a million times, but why don't you help us out here? Anyone who's new to the space, new to Kima, just tell them quick a little bit about yourself, and then maybe your little 30-second, 1-minute elevator pitch for Kima.
Hey, pleasure is all mine. Happy to do it at the 1001 time. Briefly presenting myself. 26 years digital marketeer, 5 times entrepreneur, 3 horrible destructions of wealth, and then 2 successful exits. Became an angel investor 14 years ago, since 2016 in crypto, since 2018 investing only in token-based companies. To date, involved in about 70-ish plus projects, writing for Cointelegraph and Forbes about DeFi, blockchain infrastructure, decentralized AI, RWA, and depends. And of course, started as an angel investor of Kima. I ended up as the late founder that joined the team to lead the investment side, the token side, marketing side, and everything basically related to Web3-ish stuff. Elevator pitch about Kima. Kima is a universal interoperability communication protocol. This mumbo jumbo means basically that we are enabling every blockchain and basically every decentralized application, doesn't matter on which chain it is, to communicate with any other decentralized application, and for any application on the normal web to communicate with anything that is on the decentralized web. Kima is the only project, the only decentralized protocol that has an API, which means we are enabling the seamless direct communication of centralized application with any decentralized application, or in simple words, for example, your bank, your government, your fintech app, your digital wallet, or whatever you're using with blockchain assets and smart contracts. Kima does it with 3 patents that we have on the centralized side. So no one can fork us, no one can copy us on the centralized side solution. And of course, on the decentralized side, we're an app chain based on Cosmos. Everything is open source and part for the community, but the whole centralized side is locked and done. This is the uniqueness of Kima in a nutshell. Back to you.
Great recap there. Thanks for letting everybody know who doesn't know about this amazing project Kima and all of the utility that it's bringing to finance, cross interoperability with Web3 and traditional finance. It's it's really important to really get into the details here. I think what I'll do, Tomer, is I'll skip the Token 2049 question, because I know you weren't actually there this time and you'll be at future events. But guys, I was just checking on Kima Network's socials. If you search Kima Token 2049, you can see some lovely pictures and more info about all the great stuff they did at that event. So shout out to the team for all of their work at the event. we were there too. Our CMO Sharon was there representing ChainGPT as well. It was a great time all around, I have to say. Real quick, guys, if you are listening to the space and you want to learn more about Kima, feel free to click on their profile icon. You'll see they're a speaker of the space. They're not actually speaking, but as always with Twitter Spaces, you can just click on the profile and scroll through, learn a little bit. Make sure to give them a follow. Give Tom a follow as well. They're taking time out of their busy day to chat with us and let us know what's going on. So really appreciate if you show them some love by following, engage with their posts, and of course, make sure to get familiar with their product as well. So before we get to the ECB, let's talk about Mastercard. You guys have a really cool integration that's kind of like a big leap forward in terms of crypto utility going mainstream. Can you explain to us what's happening there, especially with the Mastercard crypto sandbox?
Of course, we'll be more than happy to. So to those of you who are new to Kima, Kima is backed by Mastercard's 10-Sec Innovation Labs. We've been working with Mastercard for a very long time now as part of their companies that are backed by their entities. And as part of it, we recently revealed our listing, our participation in their Mastercard sandbox for Mastercard developers hub. You can see it basically as let's say that it's something like the App Store for Mastercard developers. So developers around the world who are they're not normal developers, like every developer. Basically, developers who are developing solutions for credit card companies, credit card issuers, that is banks, and basically businesses who build on Mastercard's infrastructure, cards and all kind of fintech solutions. Now they have the ability to directly use Kima's technologies from Mastercard Sandbox. We are the only ones who are enabling direct charging of prepaid cards with stable coins. I'm not sure if you guys were following, but Mastercard announced that they have strategic partnerships now with Paxos, with Circle, and some other names to enable basically operation between their stable coins and Mastercard cards around the world. So Kima is basically, guys, the infrastructure that enables your card to communicate with, let's say, the USDC contract on Solana. So imagine that now you're in a McDonald's and you want to swipe your card, and your card is liquidating as you swap USDC on Solana when you swipe the card. This is what Kima does. There are no intermediaries. There are no smart contracts. There are no oracles. We do it in direct manner. And this is all being enabled by a Mastercard Sandbox, by our technology that is there for every person on earth that is building Mastercard stuff. So very, very exciting times. This is going to basically change everything about how we use cards. And I'm not just throwing words like change everything, it's the big word. It will change everything. Many people do not understand what Kima actually is building, so many times we think that the project, of course, is ridiculously unappreciated at the moment with these price valuations. People do not understand that basically there's technology here that never existed before, and it's live operating, and it's backed by titans and already working with the European Central Bank, with Mastercard, with some banks in Dubai that we're now signing terms with, and some huge centralized exchanges. This technology changes everything about how the decentralized financial world is working with the centralized financial world. And the announcement with Mastercard Sandbox was just tip of the iceberg. It's like, it's like a first fire, being shot. We have a lot more to announce, a lot more to reveal. So stay tuned. And we're very excited about this announcement and partnership.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I hope everybody kind of gets the the enormous potential of what's being discussed here. Is that how many of us that work in this industry, we get paid in crypto, or you've got friends who are just like super bullish on crypto and have all this money, but you got to go through an exchange, you got to cash out everything. I think Kima is going to make that process so much simply. So Tomer, just for example, I'm sure many of us, perked up at your mention of McDonald's. Perhaps we can buy our tendies with our crypto. Like, how far away are we from something like that actually being possible? I'm asking you a little question off script right now, but I'm just curious. Like,
Of course.
when can we actually buy our McDonald's using Kima?
By the way, bro, feel free to ask whatever you want. I didn't even notice we have a script. So go wild, man. I didn't even notice the script. I never read a script of any of my AMAs. I go freestyle all the. Feel free to ask whatever you want. Pick questions from the audience. Feel free to do whatever you want, man. We're as natural as we can be. So this actually exists now. Like, it's live, man. Like, you can basically any partner of ours that is building using Mastercard, building basically credit card solution on Mastercard's infrastructure, issuing cards through Mastercard, can use it today. Like, this is live. You can do it today. We've done already things with, for example, with the Israeli Stock Exchange. We've done, an experiment that enabled buying directly stock with USDC on Ethereum, and the stock is being bought on the exchange itself. The technology is live. Technology is battle tested, and it's ready for action. The thing is that it takes a little bit of time, until until it all gets traction. Imagine like looking on the Solana project at very early stages, when it's just launched, or Polygon, which was completely unique. So there was, or even Ethereum, there was a time, that it launched and there was basically not a lot of traction because everything was very, very new, and not too many builders launched their product because they're still building, and everything was kind of moving very, very slow. And then out of nowhere, boom, an atomic bomb explosions, and you see like 20x, 30x, 1000x. Suddenly demand comes because the network was initiated, stuff started to launch on the network and it was utilized. So this is kind of where we are now, with this thing. This thing was just being released. Like, we started with the announcement, I think it was on the 12th of May. So it's like, we're 2 weeks into the announcement stage. Like, it's so early, it's so new, and just now people are starting to build solutions using that thing. But imagine that, let's say the European Central Bank that you mentioned, let's say that we, nothing is set, of course, and nothing is done yet, but let's say that the Euro CBDC will be, I hope, if God's willing, will be launching on crypto payment rails that we're providing at Kima. You understand that basically every Euro transaction that is decentralized and centralized is going to pass through the Kima network, right? People would not even need to know what it is, but they're already using it. So very, very soon you're going to see it with the Mastercard cards, for example, and it's already live. So to your question, simply to answer now, yes, it's live. People can actually do it.
Amazing. Yeah. And I think you just brought up a really good point there. Something I've heard over and over again in spaces is that the key to mass adoption for crypto is for like normies to not even know that they're using something that's Web3 related, right? It's just a layer that sort of seamlessly works, and improves their life and their access to more efficient tools, access to finance, so on and so forth. Jason, our space host here, has pinned the Kima network announcement on the Jumbotron here in the space. So if you guys want to go over to the Kima Medium blog and read more about this amazing announcement, please do so. And it'll be there waiting for you, of course, if you want to stay in for the rest of the space. We've got more to talk about, especially the ECB, announcement here. This is something that I mentioned at the beginning and you just brought up here. So it's the ECB Pioneers program. I want to hear about that. And something about conditional programmable payments and how you guys are focusing on that infrastructure. This one sounds big. Obviously, Mastercard, everybody knows that name. The ECB, maybe not so much, but clearly, getting into that deeper level is going to be huge for the expansion of Kima. So I would love to hear more about that.
Definitely going to be big. Thanks for bringing that subject actually with the partner and what they're actually doing there. So at the moment, as you know, guys, many governments are already in an understanding that the future of finance is decentralized. It's no longer a question or if or maybe. It's now just a question of when it will happen. I can tell you that they're all going in the direction. We're working with three governments and with one central bank, the European Central Bank, on a solution for a governmental issued stablecoin, as we're the only ones who basically able to provide the crypto on and off payment infrastructure for it. Now, Kima is much more than just, transferring money. This is like, basically, it's the obvious thing that just transferring, messages of money and resolving and executing on the other side in a completely autonomous manner. We are basically enabling any interoperability between any real world asset to anything that is on-chain. So one of the things that everybody are talking about, everybody is now, when people want to tokenize everything. They want to tokenize diamonds, they want to tokenize art, they want to tokenize songs, they want to tokenize homes, they want to tokenize stocks, they want to tokenize bonds, they want to tokenize everything. But no one is actually telling the people how they're going to make this thing work. So you tokenize everything, that's very nice. But how do you on and off ramp it? How do you bring it from the real world in and out? How do you do this thing? So at the moment, the only way to do it in a permissionless, decentralized, direct, seamless manner is using Kima's infrastructure. Using Kima, you connect from one side and you basically program whatever you want to happen on the other side. So part of the solutions that we're enabling, of course, is not only to enable the transfer of centralized to decentralized money form. So let's say your decentralized euro to a centralized euro in your bank and to connect your bank directly. But we also enable to do everything that is from governmental issued bonds, stocks, and technically we can even, if you're a developer for a bank that wants to do it, we even enable you to take, for example, Bitcoin on your BTC on Bitcoin network, lock it to the bank's Bitcoin address, and the bank will issue you a mortgage to buy a home. These are also things that can be done with Kima. We're doing the whole end-to-end communication process. And this is opening a whole new world of options for governments to raise money from all over the world, for example. Imagine that the European Central Bank can now, let's say, issue bonds and raise money on-chain from people all over the world, just on-chain through stablecoins. And all of the process of payments and redemption, etc., will be happening directly from the European Central Bank on every blockchain to every blockchain user in the world. So these are things that are completely revolutionary, new, and did not exist before. Just because we have this tiny, tiny thing that enables both ecosystems or completely disconnected to finally communicate directly. And these are stuff that we're now exploring to do with, as I told you, government, with the European Central Bank and some others. And we're also communicating with some huge banks and other card issuers in the world in order to create solutions that have never existed before, thanks to this technology. Imagine today that if you want to on and off ramp, so if I want to send you, if you will try to bring 100 euros on chain, you will use one of the on and off ramp solutions. You will go through KYC or KYB. You will be confirmed. You will confirm your address. Then you will be charged from your credit card 100 euros, and you will be charged fees from the on and off ramp issuer intermediary. And let's say that you will get for your 100 euros, you will be getting a 92 euros. That will be 92 or 95 euros C. You will be losing all of that because you had an intermediary in the middle. The process is very, very long. It can take sometimes as quick as 5 minutes, and can also take 3 days to 2 weeks even in some various cases. With Kima, you do it in a second. So basically, transaction was confirmed on your card. Poof, money sent to you in a Euro C in that example. With all zero to almost no fees, because we have no intermediaries. These are all very, very unique capabilities that are opening a whole new world of options for fintech companies, governments, and any financial institution in the world to harness the amazing power of the decentralized financial ecosystem and the beautiful technology of decentralization and blockchain, to benefit the world with much faster, more efficient, and more fair financial solutions.
Yeah, it's such a fascinating set of ideas that you're talking about. And I just wanted to ask you about something that came, again, this is off of my script. I know you're not working off a script, but I have some prepared questions. One thing that comes to my mind is like, okay, crypto, Web3, a lot of us, we have a hard time convincing maybe our parents or our friends or our girlfriend, spouse to believe in the future of this tech, right? I mean, I'm sure we've all met people in our life who are skeptical about this tech, what it can bring, how safe it is. Those can be tricky conversations. But what you're talking about is a whole other level, right? You're talking about the European Central Bank. So can you talk to us a little bit? Obviously, you can't give away like conversations, like sensitive information, but like as a person, as a business person, obviously you're someone that's like so good at describing the utility of this technology, but like, how does that go? Like, are you met with a lot of skepticism? What goes into like preparing to like actually convince people like this to integrate with you to make all of this possible? I think it must be so tricky.
Well, it is very, very tricky. But now it's, I think, easier than ever to actually do these things. I can tell you that for years, to those of you who are real OGs, and have been here like long enough, you remember the days, that you were talking with someone, you will tell them that you have a Bitcoin, when you have Ethereum wallet, and you tell them about cryptocurrencies, and they think that you're a drug dealer or a tourist, or an arms dealer, that's getting money on the dark web, to smuggle young children, across countries. These days are gone, right? Like nowadays, your grandmother asks you how to buy a Bitcoin and if she needs it. So this is a whole new age of acceptance for this technology. It was said that nothing is stronger than an idea whose time has come. And I think that with Donald Trump now, with U.S. being the central hub, financial hub of the world, and basically the shot caller, as we say, there's wars now that basically one guy goes to war with all countries just by saying a few words on his Twitter, and to a mic. It creates, whole turbulence in the financial world. US is basically dominating our modern financial life, and it gives the tone of what we do. And by Trump's administration, with their acceptance, of crypto and the over crypto friendliness that they're showing, we're definitely in a much better situation than we used to be in before. Now, of course, I cannot share exactly what we're discussing, with the governments and other entities, but you can guess, that you don't need too many options. Whatever you're thinking of, we're discussing with them. Imagine that everything that needs to be on chain and cannot communicate with the chain will now have the ability to do it with Kima. So that's basically what we're doing now. And Kima's technology is enabling something that we, again, never had before. Imagine that Kima now is like, we're showing the world, to those of you, again, who are old enough like me, remember the day when Steve Jobs went, on stage and showed the world an iPhone. I remember that this day, and it was like, you saw something from the future, hey, I had the most advanced pocket PC. My friends did, Blackberries, and Palm Pilots, and the Nokia Symbian phones and Sony Ericsson Symbian devices, these were the edge of the technology that we had back then. And then this guy just showed an iPhone. And Nokia's, I think it was Nokia's former CEO, said that the day that they saw the iPhone in that event, they said to each other, these guys have technology that is 7 years ahead of what we have today. They knew that it was game over the same moment. Now, luckily for the world, we're not here into the interoperability world to say this is game over. We're not replacing anyone. We're creating the Android. We're now Google showing the Android OS that will basically give all the manufacturers and every new entrepreneur that wants to manufacture a phone, we're giving the ability to create something super awesome with awesome, amazing technology that didn't exist before in a few clicks of a button, technically, for a talented developer. This is what Kima is. This is the revolution that we're doing. Before that, people saw, initially they saw the iPhone and I remember people saying, why do you need such a big phone? Look at my phone. It's so small. You can put it in your pocket. How will you put such a big phone in your pocket? Aren't you afraid that the glass will be broken? Who needs all of this thing? I just need a phone to speak with, I don't need all of these things. And then look at the world today. Android came over. And now, our grandmothers have, Android phones and they're jumping on FaceTime calls on their iPhones with us. So this is what Kima brings to the DeFi ecosystem. To those of you who did not exactly understand what we're doing. And these are not, again, jumbo, high-fish words to pump a token. Please go and check our technology. Do your DD on us. Research and learn what Kima is doing and building. And we invite you to come and build using Kima. Awesome and amazing stuff that is going to maybe one day change the financial world we live in today. So
that's the hope, isn't it? Brilliant answer. And I would say, Tomer, if there's one person who could convince the people at the ECB and other, institutional places, I think you'd be the person I would pick to speak for our community and what our technology can offer. It's just, it's really great to listen to you, and you have a great way of putting things so people can understand them. And I think you make a great point too. Listen, guys, we've all been in a million Twitter spaces where people are talking a lot of shit and just hyping stuff up, trying to pump a token. But if you really look into Kima, the utility, the functionality is there to really bring some groundbreaking change here. Really, really making a big difference in terms of our finance and how we can, all benefit from the results of what Kima can offer. Okay, let's get a little bit more into the weeds now as we move into the second half of the space. I want to talk about programmable pay for success bonds. So these are called PFS bonds. What are they? How are they triggered? Could you tell us any use cases? It's really compelling also when you talk about how they don't use smart contracts and how this can help enable account capital deployment.
So I will be, as you know, I'm not following the script. So I would say that I'm probably not the best guy to explain this specific solution. And I thank you for your kind words. But to be honest, my great colleagues were the ones, who brought this amazing deal with the European Central Bank. I wasn't the one, to convincing them. I am the one, who was creating the whole show behind it, with the marketing materials and the storytelling and the narratives and the marketing materials. But I'm not the one in the meeting. So full credit goes to the team, to Dan and Eitan, our CEO, Safi, and the rest of the awesome and amazing team that brought this deal to the table. They're also the ones who created that first solution that we're discussing now, and they would probably be the best people to present it and what it basically solved. But we can discuss basically on how using Kima you can create various solutions that will enable any interoperability that you like with the centralized world, exactly like that solution. This is only one implication out of an infinity amount of solutions that you can basically create using that infrastructure. To explain, simply, you can transfer 1,000 USDC from Solana to Ethereum, and you will get 1,000 USDC. You can transfer 1,000 USDC from Ethereum to Sui, and from Sui to your bank account directly. Again, with no intermediaries, no smart contracts, and no oracles. And you can also technically create an app, if you're Sony, to create a PlayStation Network app that will enable you to mint your achievements as a PlayStation player to any chain that you want as an NFT. You will be able to keep a record of your, I don't know, all of your Fortnite, all of the Fortnite game results, battle results. You can basically now save them on chain, and you can create processes that will enable, winners to take profits back home, or create any centralized game to make it basically a GameFi project without minting any token and without having to program anything within the game in advance. These are only some of the abilities that we're enabling using Kima. The sky is the limit. Imagine that you can connect everything, every action that you want in the centralized world to do any action that you want in the decentralized world, and vice versa. And of course, any action on any decentralized ecosystem to an action on any decentralized action on any blockchain. All can be done with Kima now and today.
Perfect. Yeah, and all credit to your colleagues for their participation in all that we're doing as well. Tomer can't do everything, right? So yeah, shout out to them for sure. And we can bring them on for another session too, to talk about some of the other stuff like PFS bonds and so on and so forth. I know I've been on sessions with them before where they broke that down. It is really complex stuff and amazingly thought out and engineered technology to allow all this stuff to happen. Okay, so let's talk about sort of like the future, right? You talked a little bit about some of the the partnerships that you now have in place. Anything that you can tell us that might be getting people excited as the future, things that you're planning? Obviously, you can't reveal everything in AMA, but hosts like myself always try to get you guys to drop some alpha. Anything interesting you might want to tell us about what's being planned?
We'll be happy to, kind sir. So on our menu, of course, we have a lot more integrations with great financial institutions. On the menu, we have some stock exchanges that we're talking to. We have, of course, crypto exchanges, centralized. Some have signed already LOIs, MOUs, in the process of integration, and some are in early stage conversations. And as I said, we are also discussing with a few governments and going to even reveal, I hope soon, first centralized bank on one of the most popular countries for crypto entrepreneurs in the world, that is going to basically be the first who is utilizing Kima's technology live for direct communication with bank accounts for their clients with decentralized wallets. So this is something huge that we're going to announce, I hope, very soon. In addition, we're going to reveal, right now the plan is to reveal it on Thursday. Some already know what it's going to be, but I will leave it to you, the excitement is follow us, and make sure that you're turning on the notifications to learn what we're announcing on Thursday. But we've created something huge to unite stablecoin issuers around the world and to help them make the DeFi ecosystem a better place. This is an initiative, of course, that is not for profit, has no token, and this is for the benefit of the worldwide decentralized community to make this place better, safer, and a lot more fun to all of us, and of course more fair and transparent. We're going to soon reveal, in continuation to that, another amazing technology built on Kima's technology that will enable something very, very cool with stable coins to every person on earth, and we're making this thing accessible to basically anyone. We can basically say that I can reveal that we're going to offer on and off ramp solution that will be probably the most efficient and cheap or very competitive in the world. We're not going to earn anything from it, of course. The Kima Foundation is a protocol It's going to be, again, for the pure benefit of the ecosystem participants, again, to make this place more fair and more accessible to everyone. And we're going also to reveal the first mega project that was built using Kima's technology that is going to allow assets to move across all chains in a seamless, decentralized manner with 0 smart contracts, with 0 oracles, in a completely direct and super cheap manner. And we hope this is going to change the way that projects are creating DeFi projects, creating interoperability pools and other solutions cross-chain. So stay tuned. We're going to reveal all of these very, very soon.
Amazing. Lots of cool things coming up for Kima soon. Well, it's been a great space. I've really enjoyed chatting with you, Tomer. Of course, we've got some amazing stuff. If you're coming in late, make sure you catch up on the European Central Bank news. You can see it pinned to the Jumbotron here in the space. And of course, we have to mention the Mastercard news as well. Super exciting stuff. And as always, Tomer, great to chat with you. Really appreciate you joining the space. So guys, make sure to follow Kima, make sure to follow Tomer. And if you guys aren't familiar with ChainGPT Labs, this is the incubation arm of ChainGPT, where we incubate some of the best up and coming projects in the entire space. So please make sure to follow along to find out all the amazing work that we're doing. And thank you to my colleague Jason, who's hosting the space for us on the lab side. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have an awesome day.
All right, guys. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.